Okay. Hello, internets. Um,
Hello.
yeah, we have Shua here. We're going to do some fun things today with our USCIS processing times script that we wrote in the last stream. And I'm now noticing that my video my video is not showing. One sec. Um,
Oh, really? I
oh,
see it.
you see it?
You're on like the TLDR site, right? With the Python on the left.
Well, yes, that part. It should now be showing um, our screen, but what I mean is not showing my webcam.
Oh.
Let me see why that's happening. Okay, I think it's working now. Done. There we go. I'm in. Okay. All right. Everything seems to be functioning. Okay. Technical difficulties are sorted out. Okay.
Mhm.
So, where were we? Yes. We have Shua here. Shua is interested in being able to deploy things um, and have them run automatically. And since that's the topic of this stream, I'm going to have him here with me so that we can deploy our notification script somewhere where it will run um, on the internet. What are you thinking there, Shua? Sound good?
Sounds good. I can't wait.
All right, cool. Okay, so I'm starting a little slow today. So here's the idea. So last time we were writing some pseudocode, so I'm just going to give a quick outline of how we'll do these things today. So there's a number of ways that we can automate running a script. For example, we can automate our script by running it on a Raspberry Pi using a cron tab, for example. Or we can use the cloud. We can put things on Google Cloud, for example. Or we can also use other things like GitHub Actions is another thing where we could run something periodically. I thought it might be fun to do Google Cloud. I've done it many times, at least for work. I've done it many times. So there is some interesting things we can do. I think there's a lot of interesting tools available to us in Google Cloud, so that might be fun. Now, I've only ever done this on my work computer, so I think we might have to do the whole setup locally. So I think that's good though. We're going to sort of do it cold start.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah? Okay, cool.
Yeah, I'll follow along as we go.
All right. So I guess I think we're going to need to install the Google Cloud client. Let me just see. I might already have it. I happen to have it. Cool. Let's see if I can. Is there like an update? It might need updating. It might be on the old side. Welcome, Niwako.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Chua.
How are you, Nawako?
Good, how are you?
I'm good.
So, as I was explaining to Shua, our goal today will be to deploy our script to Google Cloud. And to do that, we're going to have to set up. So I'm just updating the Google Cloud commands. And while that goes, I'll describe how we're going to use Google Cloud to automate our script, right? So just as a quick recap of what we did last time, we wrote a Python script that, when we run it, will check to see if something has, if a certain value on the USCIS website has changed, and if it's different, it will send a notification to my phone so that I can receive that update. And what we want to do now, the goal now, is to take this script and put it somewhere where it will run periodically. And in this case, what we're going to do is put it on Google Cloud's Cloud Functions, okay? So a Cloud Function is essentially one of these, the way that the cloud companies talk about it, it's a sort of a zero infrastructure thing where you essentially just deploy the script that you want to run, and you can have it triggered based on some sort of event. And there's many different kinds of events that the script can be triggered on, right? So, for example, you can trigger a script at a certain time. You can have it run on a schedule, essentially. Typically, with Google Cloud, for example, you put something in a cloud function and you can trigger it for from a number of ways. I'm going to try and show a little bit of those things as we go, but it's more fun to do than to talk, so let's just start. I'm going to be using a cheat sheet because since I've done this many times, I kind of like using my little cheat sheet. So for work, I've created a few useful tools that enable customers of Google Cloud to use our security product easily. So, and I have them all in my personal GitHub. They start with GCP-SCC, which is a Google Cloud Platform Security Command Center, and then what it does. The cheat sheet I want to use is this one here, Finding Notification Slack. And I have this README. So the README is the cheat sheet. It has instructions on essentially how to set up Google Cloud in a cloud function to send notifications to your Slack when new security center findings are generated. So as you can see, there's a distinct parallel between this bit of code that we're currently writing today and the one that's described in this repo, you know. And so we're gonna copy some of it, I think. Sound good?
Sounds good.
Yeah. Okay. So the first thing we need to do is configure our project.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Niwako.
For some reason, my screen, I am looking at your screen and everything is blurry. Do you know if there's anything I can do? Like, I can't read anything.
Oh, okay.
And I restarted Chrome.
Oh, let me try sharing my screen in Discord. Maybe it's better. It may not be better.
My YouTube did default to 480p, Nowako. Did you try the settings on your window and jumping to 1080?
How do I do that?
So if you go to the YouTube window, right underneath the progress bar, there's a little gear called settings.
So I should pick 1080p?
Yeah, 1080.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. It
Yeah.
fixed it.
Oh, thanks, Shua.
Great. Yeah, thank you.
No problem.
Okay, so let's see here. This is sort of the outline of how we're going to proceed, right? The first step that we have to do here is essentially go to the repository where we're going to deploy our cloud function. And we're already there because it's the same directory that we were in when we were building the cloud function yesterday. Then the next step is to configure a project where we're going to deploy this cloud function. There's an extra step here for the security center that doesn't apply to us. So this part here is the part we're going to do. So we need a project. We'll do that first. Then after that, we're going to create a pub subtopic. This is going to be the thing that triggers our cloud function. So the cloud function itself will watch this pub subtopic, and when messages get published to the pub subtopic, we will trigger the cloud function. And then what's not currently listed on my cheat sheet, because it's different from the cheat sheet, is we need to configure Cloud Scheduler to put a message into PubSub, which will trigger the cloud function for us. Now, there's one extra step that we're going to want to do, which is we want to make a service account for our cloud function. And this is for security reasons. The cloud function by default has lots of permissions, but we want to make sure that our cloud function has the minimal set of permissions for what we want it to do. For our case, we're going to want our cloud function to have actually very few permissions. There's only one, in fact, that we're going to want to give it, which is access to Secrets Manager. And Secrets Manager is a place where we can store our secrets so that only the people we grant access to can read those secrets. In our case, we'll make it so that only me and the cloud function the service account that's running the cloud function can see the secret. I just realized I didn't describe what a service account is, so let me quickly describe that. So a service account is essentially, well, I guess I don't know the exact definition, but the way I think about it is it's kind of like a person, but it is designed to be run by a robot, essentially. So for our use cases, when we deploy our cloud function, we can say that this cloud function is supposed to run as this particular service account. So it's kind of like the identity of the bot. And it looks like an email, so it behaves just like that. Question?
When you say cloud function,
Mm-hmm.
does that just mean the program, or
Yeah.
is that referencing the cloud infrastructure, like the instance?
It's so when I say cloud function, I'm talking about the container or the tool in Google Cloud that will run the script for us.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. AWS calls it Lambda. Different words for different things.
Got it.
Sorry, different words for the same thing. Right. Okay. So now Secrets Manager is a cloud function, is a Google Cloud thing that will hold our secrets for us, and we're going to put our the idea here is that we're going to put our the secrets that we created yesterday from pushover, the API key and stuff like that. We'll put that into the secrets repository. Okay. Then finally, the last step is to just publish the cloud function. So this cheat sheet basically has almost everything we need. So the first thing we're going to want is a project. So let's go to GCP, which is console.cloud.google.com. And here it is. And here's all the projects that I have. Let's do new project. And the project will be USCIS processing times. Create. Let's see, project ID is this. Okay. I think that's fine. Let's create it. Okay. Now that we have that, I think we can do most of what we want from the command line, following our cheat sheet. We could also, though, do it from the web UI. Do folks have a preference? Which one we do?
Which one do you recommend?
Yeah, good question. So for the purposes of replicating what I do, it's it's better to do it at the command line. I think for the purposes of understanding, it might be better in the UI. So maybe we'll do it in the UI. Yeah. Okay. Although we might deploy the cloud function via the command line. Okay. First step, we need a service account. So I think service accounts are done via IAM and admin. Or maybe the difficulty with this is it's easy to forget how to use the UI, and they
A lot
change.
of places for a lot of things.
Oh my gosh, yeah! Like you click the little hamburger menu, and then there's like anybody coming to Google Cloud for the first time, guaranteed to be overwhelmed by the number of products here. So
Wow.
I know, right? So, but I happen to know the product. I know. I don't want to say relatively well. I think I know it better than most, though. Okay, we're creating a service account. Okay, display name for the service account. So this service account is going to essentially, as I mentioned, this is what's going to run the cloud function. So I'm going to use my cheat sheet to remember how I name them. So this is how I have named things in the past. So I would say name the service account something like the Slack Cloud Function service account. So in other words, the service account describes what's the bot going to be doing with their permissions. Like what is the bot's purpose? So in our case, yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, I was just okaying along.
Yeah. Okay. So the permission, our bot, in our case, we want its purpose is to send us notifications, and it runs as a cloud. It's going to be running as a cloud function. So we can call it USCIS notify cloud function SA. SA for service account. You can name this anyhow you like, though. Create and continue. Grant this service account access to the project. I don't think I want to do that. Let me see here. Here's my cheat sheet. In my cheat sheet, we create the service account, and then I grant it access to Security Center admin. I didn't grant it access to a project, so I think I can leave this blank. Continue. Grant users access to this service account. Grant access to users that need to perform actions as this service account. And I think the answer to that is no. Aside from me being an owner of it, which allows me to make changes to the service account, I don't want anyone to be able to become this robot. I think. I'm not sure. Let's just click done.
Do we have to do it for ourselves, though?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I honestly, all the cloud things, like in my opinion, best thing is like don't do it first, and then when it fails, then try things.
Got it.
Okay. Now there is one little thing that I like to do. We're gonna want to do this anyway, which is we're gonna download a key which will allow us to run our cloud function locally as this service account. This will be useful for us for testing out that our script runs, for testing out that the script will have the appropriate amount of permissions to do something as that service account, right?
Yep.
So, okay. So we have our service account. Let's download it. So let's see here. How do I do that? Manage keys. Add key. create new key. So this key is the thing that allows us to pretend to behave like this service account locally. So create key, JSON, create, and it will download. That looks fine to me. Save it to, I think I want to save it to my workspace folder. Okay. Downloaded. Nice. So here is where the key is. Now this key is pretty sensitive. Once you've created it, basically any permissions that the service account has, if someone manages to get their hands on this JSON file, they can gain the same set of permissions as this robot. Yeah?
Okay.
Yeah. And the next thing that we want to do is we want to be able to run our script as this robot. So to do that, we want to export Google application credentials. Yeah. Okay. So I'm sort of relying on my knowledge, but I'll explain very clearly what's going on here. So Google application credentials, this variable that we're exporting, is a variable that the script understands, that Google Cloud libraries in Python understand. They're going to look for this, and if they see this, they will know to load a specific key and use it for our for running the script. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So in the past, the way I did this was I put the file in a .secrets folder. So let's actually do it the same way. I like that idea. Make dir .secrets. Let's do it using the UI. UIs are better. Click folder .secrets. Okay. And we want to put our credentials in there. So the name of the credential is USCIS, processing times, and we're putting it into our .secrets folder. Okay, so now we can see it there. I'll avoid clicking on it during the stream so that I don't have to recreate it. You can trust that it's got some secret information inside of it.
Got it.
So now everything, we're actually all set. Oh no, one more thing to do. Not have to do that export command. So export this, and we essentially need to pass it the folder we just made. So here's a way I like to do it. Put a space here. Can I do this? Okay. So I want my prompt to finish, to complete for me so that I don't make mistakes, you know? USCIS. It's not behaving. It's not behaving. Let's see. Copy path. This will do it for me. Paste path slash. Oh, why doesn't the tab complete work? Maybe I need to. There, that worked. Okay. Export Google application credentials. And then I can remove this part here and just type $home. Sorry about that. Okay. Now we're set. Now, next thing to do is let's...
Sorry, I have a quick question.
Yes, what's up?
Does that line generate a file inside your secrets folder that's like the Google application credentials? So it's like it creates a second JSON in there?
This one here?
Yeah.
What this one does is it creates a environment variable called Google application credentials. And this environment variable, I can echo it. I can say echo $ Google application credentials. And it will it will basically have a value that points to the file, right?
Okay.
Yeah. And the reason why I wanted to do this is because the Google Python libraries, I think many of the Google libraries in general, not just the Python one, they look for this variable, and if they see it, they know that they know internally that when you invoke one of the methods in the library, that it should use this JSON file as its identity.
Got it.
Mm-hmm. All right, so let's see. Let's now do secrets. Let's do the secrets, yeah? So one of the things that we're not going to be able to do in the cloud function is store a file the way that we did in this script. So we're going to have to refactor our script a little bit. But I want to get the cloud function working without needing the file, if that makes sense. So we're gonna modify our main file, and then we're gonna redo the part about saving the previous receipt date. Okay. So let's start by doing that. Let's turn off. We're gonna make it so that essentially we just always notify current. Okay? So I'm just going to test the script out. It should be working still. Notify. Yep. Got the message. My screen is very dark. I'll just show you. It's cool. I think it's cool. All right, so there it is. Wonderful. So our pushover notifications are still working. The way this script currently works, though, is that it will always notify now, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Next, this is actually quite fun. So, the next bit is that we're going to store our secrets into the secrets manager. So, we're following the cheat sheet over here. So step 1, make a variable. So export. And then we're going to call it API. Let's open up the secrets file. So here's the secrets file, API key and user key. So we're going to give it a similar name, but instead of just API key, we'll be a little bit more descriptive. Let's call this pushover API key. Pushover underscore API key is equal to, and we're going to set it to this value. And we also need pushover user key. And we're going to set it to this value. And now we need to create 2 secrets, one for each of the values we just exported. So we'll say create these secrets.
Someone's at front yard.
Uh-oh. Someone's here. Okay. I think Niwako will get that.
Yeah, I'll get it.
Thanks. Okay. Secrets create. And the secret we're creating is... we're going to call it the same thing, but we'll use the lowercase syntax. So this creates a place where we can store our pushover API key. Is not... Oh, I have to set my project. This is me skipping steps. So we need to do this, gcloud set project, and we need the project ID. So that's the USCIS processing times. Let's grab that. I believe it's this value here. Set project. Okay, run that. Nice. Let's try again. Pushover. And I need to gcloud auth login. Let's go. And then I'm logging in as me. Allow. Beautiful. Okay, let's try again. Okay, would I like to enable it? Yes. Do all the things, please. Google. All right. Okay, isn't it's great? We got our secret key created. What do you think so far?
Where is this secret key living? Is this like a temporary pointer variable that you just created and configured within like Google Cloud?
Yes.
Or okay.
So I'll show you. We can do it with the UI too. Secret. So you go to Security, Secret Manager. If we go here, we'll now see that we just created the pushover API key. Yeah.
Ah, cool.
Yeah. We're basically controlling the UI from the command line.
Got it.
Yeah. Next. So now that we've created the key, we need to put the value into the key for us. We need to put the value that we just generated into the key. So here we have, this is how we created the key. And here is my cheat sheet version of how to do that, of how to set a value of the key in Google Cloud. We can also use the UI, actually. And what, since we have to do two keys, what we'll do is we'll do it both ways. Okay, so remember that we exported a variable that contains our pushover. So pushover API key. And we want to put this into the pushover API key. Pushover API key. Beautiful. I was using tab completion. I really love the Google Cloud SDK because it does tab completion on everything, including things like the name of the secrets version that we're deploying. So that's really an amazing thing that it can do. Okay. Great. So that worked. Created version 1 of the secret. So now if we head back to the UI and click this, we can see that we have a version 1 and it's encrypted in Google for us, in Google Cloud for us. All right. All right, now let's do it the UI way. So create a secret. And the name of the secret is pushover user-key. And the secret value is this one. Paste it here. And then here are a bunch of options, and I'm going with defaults. In many ways, UIs are a little bit more difficult to use because the command line doesn't present you with many options, you know? Okay. There we go. Done. So now if we head back, we can see we have a pushover API key and a pushover user key, right?
Got it.
All right. So now here's the yep, go ahead.
Quick question. So if you were building applications in general through Google Cloud, every time you would enter a username or every time you would enter a password, each of those entries would show up as two quote unquote keys in your secret manager. Is that right?
More like if you were trying to run a script that needed to hold something that was sensitive, then it's good to put it in a secret, because the secret, you can essentially control who has access to see it, right? And that's the main reason. The main reason is essentially the person who can see the script shouldn't necessarily have the permissions to see the value of the password or the usernames that script is using when it's talking to some other service, if that makes sense.
Yes. Okay. So it could be anything. It could be like birthdays. It's a storage of variables of text strings, and you can just call on those variables in your cloud functions.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes. Just think of it as like the best way to think of it is like a database where you can control access to every single value.
Understood.
Yeah.
Cool.
So in most cases, like you don't need that level of control. You don't need to control access to every single variable, but certain ones we know are sensitive, and so we put them into Secret Manager to hold it for us.
Got it.
Also, let's say we didn't trust Google to keep our stuff encrypted. Well, I mean, if you don't trust Google, probably don't use Google Cloud. But let's say we want to, like, there is this option over here in the secret to encrypt your secret using your own key. And if you did this, and we trust that Google is actually doing this encryption, we can make it so that not even Google is able to decrypt the key, right? You need your key, and if you don't present your key, it's impossible to decrypt it.
Very cool.
Okay. Great. So the next step is, now that we have our secrets, we need to enable our script to read these secrets from Google Cloud's Secret Manager. So that's what we're doing now. Let's go. And I'm going to cheat by using my cheat sheet. So in this repository that I have here, I have a cloud function, and this cloud function looks very similar to what we wrote yesterday. So let's take a look at this requirements file. And here I can see that I need this secret manager. So I'm going to copy paste this over to here. And while I'm at it, let me version control my requests library. Put that there. And I'm probably not going to need Security Center permissions, so I'm going to leave that one out. Let's activate our Python environment and pip install the requirements file so that we download the versions that I specified in the requirements. Beautiful. Okay. Done. I just noticed something. Requests were originally running at 2.26.0, so actually that's fine. We could have left that alone. Let's do that. Okay, perfect. Now that we have our dependencies, we just need to access the secrets. So I have some code that already does that. So I will just copy paste it. So from Google Cloud, import Secret Manager. So we're putting this into our script. We'll just put it up here next to requests. And if we scroll down, I have the code that actually reads things from Secret Manager. So let's copy paste this as well. And we're
Is
gonna
Google.cloud something you would pip install?
Yes.
Okay.
It's this one here, Google Cloud Secret Manager. So by pip installing.
Oh, okay, I see.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Next, we will go to read secrets. So we're essentially fixing our read secrets to do things, yeah? So let's call it, the first one we're going to need is get, so we now essentially have two secrets, right? So originally we have it called read secrets. Let's call it read secret, and then we'll take an argument, which is the secret we want to read. So the secret that we want to read can be either be pushover API key or pushover user key. Excuse me. So this is the secret that we're reading, and the secret will go here, right? So instead of Slack API token, it will be pushover API key or pushover user key. So let's put that secret there. It looks like we need to be able to read the project ID from the environment. So that means we need to import OS. Let's see, we're almost done. Return client access secret version with the given name, and then decode UTF-8. So I'm just relying on the fact that I've had to write this function before, and so I just have it. So there's our read secret. All right. And then the last thing we need to do is refactor our notify to read the appropriate secrets. So we want to, instead of reading all the secrets here, we can read the secret in line for the appropriate secret name. So we're going to say read secret, and the secret name in our case is pushover API key. We can double check this. Let's go to our secret details, pushover API key. We can even copy it. Copy. And then we'll say read secrets and pass it pushover user key. Questions?
No question. Actually, on the line 45,
Line 45, yes?
the project ID,
Yes.
what's the project ID for this case that we're working on?
It is this value here. USCIS processing times.
Okay. got it.
330718. So I'm currently now using two variables, right? Two environment variables. One is this project ID, and the other is the Google Cloud Credentials environment. So we can see them both. Echo project. Oh, I haven't actually exported that. Let's do it. Export project ID equals, and we want to put that here. So I can just paste it. I'm going to use my tool for copy pasting. Where did it go? Okay. So export project ID. All right, let's take a look. So here is the project ID, and here is the Google application credentials. Okay, let's try. If we've done things correctly, oh no, we haven't done things correctly. There's one more step. Do you want to guess what that step is?
Can you give me a clue?
Yeah. So what we've done is we've created the tokens, we've put them into the secret manager, and we've created a service account. But we have to tell Google Cloud that service account is allowed to read those tokens, right?
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So my cheat sheet here tells me how to add that binding. But you know what? Instead of doing it this way, let's do it using the UI. So it is still useful to have the command line version, because the command line has every bit of detail about what I need. And so in this case here, I know that my goal is to, using the secret manager, add an IAM policy that grants the service account that we created access to the tokens. So we're going to have to do that to both tokens. We're going to have to do it twice. And the role that we want to grant in particular is secret manager dot secret accessor.
Okay.
So we'll come back to here, and then we will go to IAM. I think this is the right location. Oh, this is not the right location because I need to see service accounts. Okay, there it is. And I need to grant this access to stuff. Manage permissions. Okay. Principals with access. How do I do this? Grant access? Okay. New principal. No, that's not what I want. Oh, no.
Shouldn't it be at the key level? Like you would access a key and then grant the key access?
Yes, it is. But which which button do I click on?
Uh,
Paul,
what if you go to each key within the secrets manager and like click into that? Does that give you?
it might. Let's try. Secret manager. Can I grant? Yes. Yes, good job. You got it. New
Thanks.
principal. So the principal we want is our service account, which was push over. Wait, what did we end up calling it? Hold on. Okay, I'll be right back to here. Service accounts. We ended up USCIS notify cloud function SA. Okay. Security. Secret manager. Add principal. Oh, sorry, what did I call it again? USCIS?
I'm sorry, can't remember either.
Oh my gosh, you're so bad at this. Okay, hold on. One more time. Okay, this time.
Screenshot it. Take a screenshot.
Hold on, I'll just copy it and then security, secret manager, add principal, paste. Okay, that works. And we want to give it secret manager, accessor, save. Nice. One more. I think I could have just selected them both. That would have also worked. Secret manager, accessor, save. Okay, that should do it. Let's see.
Do you ever use any of the other options for principal, like account management?
Yeah, there's a lot of useful things. Granting individual permissions for things. Yes.
Okay.
There's like the permission model available in Google Cloud is it's extensive. It's really quite detailed. Yeah, I couldn't even tell you though how many things you can do. Like certain permissions grant you access to thousands of mini like little details. I think it would be super time consuming to figure out what each one is. It's amazing actually. All right, should we try and run it? I think we're ready. Let's see if it works. Oh, broken. What did I say? What did I do wrong? Read secrets takes 0 positional arguments, but 1 was given. Yeah, I see the bug. Do you see the bug?
Yes.
All right, let's fix it. Try again. That means it passed the first one though. Oh wow, there it works. Okay, we did it. It's wonderful. All right, so we can now get rid of read secrets. We're no longer using that. And we can get rid of the secrets.json. Delete that. And the next step is to put this into a cloud function. Yes?
Yep.
All right, let's do it. Okay. So to put this into a Cloud Function, all we need to do is, I guess, put it in a Cloud Function, yeah? The easiest way is actually to create a folder which contains the contents of what you want uploaded to the Cloud Function container. So I like to create a folder called CF. And then this way you don't accidentally upload like your hidden folders, your secrets, and all these other things, right?
Yep.
So the main files that you want in the Cloud Function are typically the script and the requirements.txt file. So I will just move them. Move? Okay. So now the structure of our project is we have our .secrets, we have our Cloud Function, and here's that old cache file that we're going to need to get rid of, and README and stuff down here. But the requirements file and the notify are inside a CF folder. And this will allow us in the command line to upload. And I'm going to show you how we do that. So this is the way to deploy our Cloud Function. And this is very useful to do it this way because well, you know what? We're going to do it using the UI as well. But let me show you all the things that we need to take into account, right? So we're going to deploy. This is the name of the Cloud Function we're going to use. So we're probably going to call it notify, or something like USCIS notify, something like that.
Okay.
And then the entry point is which function to run in the Python script. So for us, that's main. And then we're going to run on Python 3.9. Then we need to tell it which service account the script is going to run as. And then we can set some environment variables. So we'll want to set project ID in particular. And then source is the directory that it should upload. And then we have our trigger topic. So that's going to be the last step. Let's go. Cloud Function time. So we're going to click on a button and then click on a button. All right. Cloud Functions is getting ready. Ready to rumble. Ready to roll. Create function. Okay. So function name. That's step 1. Let's call it USCIS notify. All right. And the trigger type. We want to trigger on Cloud Pub Sub. But we don't currently have a topic yet. So let's create a topic. And the topic will be okay, topic ID. Let's see, what have I used in the past? So this is how I've done it. For us, it will be trigger USCIS notify Cloud Function. Okay? So when a message gets published to here, to this topic, it will trigger our Cloud Function. That's the idea. Create topic.
Okay.
I think Lambda does this better on AWS.
Can you explain what that means when a message gets published to this pub sub? Like, how does that happen?
Yeah, there's a number of ways, but the simplest way is to go to the pub sub interface and just put a message there and say publish it.
Okay.
What we're going to do though is we're going to set it up so that we use Cloud Scheduler to once a day publish a message. And that message will then be picked up by this Cloud Function to run, which will execute our Cloud Function. The message won't contain any contents though. It's just going to be like, here's a message, you know, because it doesn't have any arguments. It's just, here's a message, please run.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
So runtime. All of this looks fine, I think. We do need a variable though, which is project ID. Project ID needs to be here. And then save this, and then next. Cloud billing API is required to select a runtime. It is required to use the runtime selected. Python 3.9. Okay, I might have to spend monies. Enable API. Oh, cloud build. Sorry, not cloud billing. I'm not able to read. Cloud build. Okay. All right, that's running there. Okay. Next, we need to deploy these two files. So here's requirements. And as you can see, this is in fact easier than if we using the command line version of this is easier. You don't have to copy paste lots of different things. So we'll do it once with the UI, and then subsequently we will do it with the command line. Okay. So we also have to update this entry point. The entry point for us is main. Deploy. Okay. Deploying.
Is there always one entry point?
Yeah.
Okay.
When do you have some notion about why you would want more than one?
No, I was wondering why it's called an entry point rather than just like what's the function to run, I guess.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm not sure exactly how I'm not exactly sure how the cloud functions work, but it is quite sophisticated. Like it's not as simple as open a command line and run this script, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's more like we're going to invoke we're going to it's almost like they have an environment already set up to sort of manage your script, you know? And there is some knowledge about what is running in your environment. So it's not as simple as just run the script. It's more like we're going to invoke a specific function in your script. Please tell us what it is, you know?
Got it.
And I'm sure the reason for that is so that they can more granularly control the execution of your script. But I'm not entirely sure what they do with it. But I mean, like, if all this was just executing a script, then they don't need to ask you lots of questions like what is the entry point. You know, it could have just been we will execute this script for you and it will do whatever you say. You know, it'll do whatever it says to do. But it's
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, function is deployed. Let's test it out. Okay, hamburger menu, and we want cloud scheduler now. Cloud scheduler. All right. Create a job. Next. Okay. Setting my region. Nice. What do you think of Google Cloud so far?
It's not hard, and but it's not easy. I mean, like, I think AWS is similar. You just have to know what to go configure.
Mm-hmm.
And once you do it, it's very easy.
Yeah, I think AWS is... I think that's why AWS is doing well. But I think people... I'm not sure... there's a lot of useful tools on GCP, and there's so many. But I mean, so is AWS. Okay, so now we need to define our schedule. So I'm thinking like 10 a.m. is a good time to notify me. So let's go trigger, or trigger USCIS notification script, notification cloud function. Frequency is, so this is using the Unix cron format. So the first value is minutes of the hour. So I'm going to run at 10.
Mm-hmm.
And since it's 10 o'clock, I'm just going to put 10 here. And then I want it every day. Every day. And then I forget what the other ones are. It's almost always just star, star, star. So now it'll run every day at 10. Time zone, Pacific. PDT. Pacific. PDT. Okay, hold on. Oh, search by country. Oh, I see. Okay. United States. And then I need -8. But not Alaska. Pacific Daylight. There we go. Continue. Pub sub. So these are the options. We can do HTTP, pub sub, app engine. So we're going to do pub sub. And the topic, we've already created it. Trigger USCIS notify cloud function. Message body. And it's required. And as I mentioned, we're just going to ignore the value of the body. We'll just, so we can just say USCIS trigger. Okay. If we, it is possible to have an argument here. Like, let's say our cloud function can be invoked in multiple ways. You could use this as, for example, a way to identify who is invoking.
Got it.
Configure the job. Looks fine. I don't know. Defaults. Go ahead. All right. Ready to test it?
Let's do it.
Run. Uh-oh, failed.
Unknown error.
Not useful. Maybe it's transient. Let's try reloading the page. Oh, it has logs, so we can hit the logs, but let's try running again. Ah, succeeded. I was right, transient. And did I get a notification? I think I did. No, I didn't. Nope, it didn't. So something is wrong. View. All right. Let's make this window bigger. Okay, so it looks like it published a message, but maybe our cloud function didn't execute. So let's head over to cloud function and see if it executed. We haven't tested it here yet, have we?
Yet.
Okay. Logs. Okay. So it did try to run, and it failed. And here's the exception. Do you see the problem?
Give me 1 sec. I'm still reading through it. Main takes 0 positional arguments, but 2 are given. We gave variables. We gave parameters into main.
So here's what happened. We configured our cloud function, and we told it that main was the one to call.
Yep.
And because we're triggering it via this pub sub, it wants to pass us an argument, and it tries to, but it can't because our main doesn't take any arguments. So we need to take some arguments, and it looks like we need to take 2 of them. So and we're going to ignore them basically, but let's see what they are. I happen to have let's look at the cloud function that we have here. And normally it takes an event and a context. And we're not using either, but let's grab them. Put it in main. All right. And redeploy. Redeploy the script. Let's do it through the UI again. I think...
Event. Sorry, continue.
Edit the cloud function. Next. Set that. Deploy again.
Where did those 2 parameters come from?
The event and context?
Yeah.
They come from Google Cloud's runtime environment. So the event will contain the contents of our payload. That is the message that's coming from PubSub.
Yeah.
And context, I don't know what it contains. Probably like information about the runtime environment.
Got it. How did you know it? Like, I guess when I looked at that error code, I had no idea where these what these 2 parameters were and where it got even passed in. Like, how did you know it was Google who was giving these things in to our main?
So it comes from sort of a sort of, I guess it's from like this knowledge of knowing if I were to build a cloud function container thing where I would allow people to write functions, how would it work? And so the way it would work is, in order to be flexible, I do need to be able to pass an argument to their cloud function. The cloud function is otherwise not usually that useful. Like, there's a very limited set of use cases where having a cloud function that doesn't take an argument is useful. We're currently in that situation, but most cloud functions are more useful by taking an argument of some kind. Now, there's 2 ways to do that. One is to invoke the script and pass the arguments as, things after the, like you say, invoke function, invoke a script, and then pass argument 1, argument 2, argument 3, after the, just at the command line. But we know that that's not how our cloud function is getting executed, right? We know that they invoke our function directly, which means that arguments must be passed some other way.
Got it.
So, I mean, that's the intuition behind it anyway. So that in combination with the error message is what enabled me to know what was happening. Okay.
Right.
So we now know that the triggering via the pub sub worked. We just know that the cloud function didn't work, right? Okay. So I think we can now do the next fun bit, which is back to the scheduler. Run again.
Fingers crossed.
I think it failed again. Let's see. Cloud functions. This one. Logs. All right. Let's see. Which order is this? So these are the earlier logs. These are the later logs. Oh, we have a permission denied. Yes. Okay. That's an interesting one. Do we know what happened?
Denied for resource, or it may not exist. Something to do with the project level permission?
I think we just forgot to assign the service account that we created.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Next. Oh, do we have to redeploy it? Oh, sad days. Okay, go. Almost there. We're almost there.
Can I just quickly state back to you all of the different entities, like the chronological events?
Yes, go ahead.
So there's schedule kicks everything off,
Mm-hmm.
and it publishes a none message sort of thing
Mm-hmm.
to a pub sub,
Mm-hmm.
which lives within the project.
Yes.
And then the project is assigned. And the project says go run this script or this CF things that we uploaded.
Mm-hmm.
And the project lives within the service account. And then the service account has access to certain line items within the secret manager.
Mm-hmm. So the one correction I'd make there is you use the word project when I think you meant script. Our cloud function. So
Cloud function.
I'll do it
Okay,
again.
yes.
I'll do it again for
Yep.
you. So
Yes, please.
pub sub, we have cloud scheduler, which will, so our project is this USCIS processing times, and we have a number of assets. That's what Google Cloud calls them, a number of assets inside of this project.
Mhm.
Here are the set of assets: a cloud scheduler schedule, a pub sub topic, a cloud function, and 2 secrets in the secret manager. Oh, and a service account. So those are all the assets that we have. Yeah?
Okay.
Now, the first thing that happens is the cloud scheduler schedule, the first asset, will, on a schedule, publish a message to our pub sub topic. Okay? Then we have a cloud function that's watching that pub sub topic for messages. And the moment a message exists there, because it's subscribed to it, it will take the message and trigger the cloud function. The cloud function will then run, and it's running as the service account that we created. And that service account has permissions, grants the cloud function permissions to read the 2 secrets we have. And so it will be able to read the 2 secrets, and then it will be able to execute. And that's it. That's the whole story.
Got it.
Cool.
Do you think of it as the project is the umbrella and all of the assets live within it? Or do you think of it as, the secret managers with its keys and then your service account and your project and the code itself are separate entities sort of linked by primary keys of relationships?
I think of the project as a folder, a logical collection of related assets that serve to accomplish a goal. So our goal is to send me USCIS processing times, and all the assets that are necessary to achieve that goal live inside of this project.
Got it. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for explaining that.
Oh, my pleasure. It's This is we're almost there, so this is fun. This is actually the slowest part because deployment is not immediate. All right, where were we? Back to the cloud scheduler. We can pin things so that this is faster. All right, let's go. Run. Got it. There it is.
Nice.
There it is. Proof to everybody. Okay. All right. Should we? There's one last step. Should we keep going, or should we continue next time?
Up to you.
Up to me.
Up to you.
I'm good to keep going.
Me too.
Okay, then let's spend a bit more. Or we could take a break for lunch and then just resume in like half an hour, and then finish the project.
I'm flexible either way. I don't mind.
Okay. I think this is a good time to take a short break, and then we'll just resume the stream afterwards.
Okay, sounds great.
Yeah. Here's the goal for the next one. We commented out some code and got rid of the bit of code that is responsible for keeping track of the previous value. And now that we're in this cloud context, the cloud function environment doesn't have a place. The disk is not a place we should store things for persistence, because we don't have control over that. It's likely that the cloud, that Google will just, at any point in time, just delete that file. Or that is to say, spin up a new environment for the cloud function and the file will no longer exist. So we need a different way to keep track of changes.
Okay.
So what we'll do in the next stream is use something that Google Cloud provides for persistence, for keeping track of state between executions.
Got it.
Okay. See other people. If thanks to the viewers for coming. Please come back in half an hour.
Will do. See you soon.
Okay.